Good morning, YouTube. I wanted to share with you a video that I was watching. I just happened upon, like I do all the time. It's called This Video Will Hurt. The author of that video is C.G.P. Gray, G-R-E-Y. Again, it's C like cat, G like good, P like people. Gray, G-R-E-Y. And again, it's called This Video Will Hurt. I thought it was an excellent video. It's only about 7 minutes long or so, and the reason that I enjoyed it, it addressed the nocebo effect. It addressed the power of the mind to kind of start to believe whatever it's fed. And I thought this was very important in light of all the conspiracy theories that are out there, in light of all these things that are going on with healthcare, and all these non-conspiracy theories, or theories that are actually real and that we know are real. Um, the nocebo effect. Now, we know about the placebo effect, where someone is given a medication or some type of item and is advised that it'll have this effect, and physiologically, that effect does happen to their body because of their mere belief in it. The video brought up an example of a witch doctor. If you believe in voodoo, and witch doctors and all these things, and you go to these people and you have these rituals performed and you believe them, those effects do take place on you, and the power of you sharing that information with other people may in fact have an effect on that third party person, if they know that you may be wishing these things, or it's a possibility that you may be wanting these things to happen, and you have a foundation of people that support you in that belief. Now, bringing that into the real world, the same things happen when you think about the placebo effect with the doctor. Just like the witch doctor says all these things and does all these rituals, the doctor in a traditional hospital or the traditional healthcare office does the same thing, except instead of rat tails and ox noses and all these other things, your doctor has a syringe needle, a stethoscope, and a white lab coat. And so he can tell you, boom shakalaka, you're going to die in 6 months. And boom shakalaka, if you have that faith and believe in that, and that information is passed on to other people, what triples that belief, it may indeed happen. If he tells you that all of a sudden you're healed and no real medication was given to you, boom shakalaka, it might happen. So it's all the same, okay? It's about power and belief. Now, what the nocebo effect is, it goes a step beyond the doctor telling you something, or a witch doctor or a voodoo priestess telling you something and you believe in it. The nocebo effect is when it's broadcast to a bunch of people. At least this is my take on it, based on the video, which I viewed a long time now, a day ago, it seems. But and I started to try to look at it to refresh my memory, but I was like, I'll just go ahead. But the nocebo effect, like if, let's say they said a teacher was sick. The teacher told her students that something in the air was making her sick. Do you smell it? A few of the students might go along with it and be like, yeah, I smell it too. They start to get physically sick. They spread the rumor on to other people who start to get physically sick, when in actuality there was nothing that was there. The teacher made it up. So if someone of power tells you something and tells you this is the effect that it's going to have, and you believe it, and it starts to have that effect on you, it dominoes on over to other people. That's why even with the Bible, it's the same thing, the belief. They said, where two or more are gathered in my name. So the teacher has this idea. She plants the seed in someone else. They develop the physical symptoms and manifest it, and then it's manifested to others and to others and to others. And let's say the local news media gets the wind of the fact that in this school, 50% of the population went home sick for something. There was nothing that really happened. The teacher may have made it up as part of the experiment, but then the news broadcasts it on television, and it reaches the nation. Now, all of a sudden, you got a nation full of people that are claiming that they have this, that, and the other, and they're sick. So I'm going to tell y'all, when I was growing up, there was probably maybe third or fourth grade, there was a young girl, I won't forget her name was Angela Ross. and she was telling me her parents came from the country or something. She told the class, beautiful girl, short blonde hair, bright blue eyes, very spunky, and she was like her parents do not let them watch TV because it's programming them. And it's true, and I understood what she said, and I was like, wow, we don't really need that either. I'm bicultural. Culture. My mom wasn't of the Americanized, so we really didn't need TV either. I noticed that she was watching TV to try to fit in, like soap operas and wrestling. But that really wasn't her groove. Her thing was more into nature, about actually talking to people and loving people and things like that. So that was great. But then I think the system found out that there were people that were slipping under the radar of getting with. And in the 80s it was a slogan, get with the program, of getting with the program. So with the advent of YouTube, it caught all those people that didn't have TVs, and it brought them in from the educational standpoint of everybody has to learn to type. It's a process. Like I said, New World Order's been going on for a long time. It's not nothing new. Everybody, all the students in school needed to learn to type. Then from learning to type, you learn to use the computer for educational purposes, to type up papers, documents, graphs, and all this other great stuff. And from there, it went to bringing in the entertainment portion of it with the internet. Okay, with the development of the internet. So, when I talked about the nocebo effect, like I said, the teacher says, she's feeling sick, there's something in the air, the fumes or whatever. Some of the children catch on to that, and none of this is true. Kids catch on to it, and they start spreading the rumors to everybody else. Other people after school goes out sick. Next thing you know, the news media gets wind of it, and they spread the news out everywhere else. So, what was very dynamic was the concept that, through the spreading of this information that's false, people were really getting sick. It was being broadcast. With it being broadcast, it's gone on a mass effect in having all these people believe these things and have these symptoms. So, in effect, the news media is acting kind of like a virus and spreading this disease of this misinformation. True story. Now, I remember, with the advent of all of these and I don't want to call them all conspiracy theories, but we know what we're talking about. We know for a fact that some of these things are true. But with all these conspiracy theories and things, is this quote unquote education or miseducation through the internet really useful at all? Because it's taken away from people enjoying their lives. Enjoy your life where you got it. You did. Enjoy it. And the thing about it is that I saw with the advent of all these different things that are going on, one young man, I just happened to glance at the comment. It was one video that I happened upon, and some of these videos, just sound absolutely crazy. But like I said, there's a kernel of truth for everything. But I try not to watch them because it's just like, okay, I really don't want to be way out there just yet. You know what I'm saying? I have my own little island here, but I don't want to be way over on the other side. So not there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I'm not, I'm in, I'd rather, just personal preference. I just don't want to be way over there right now. There's nothing wrong with it. I believe in educating yourself, and if you want to be terrified and horrified, enjoy it. Just like if you want to watch a scary movie, enjoy it. If you want to, you know, watch your life in that type of way, go for it. It's your life. Enjoy the horror if you want to see horror. But or enjoy peace and tranquility and step out every now and then like I do and just check out what's going on in the normal world and what's going on in the world of all that stuff. But I looked at the comment that the guy made and he was just like, the internet, he just very simple comment and I could feel his spirit when he said it, typed it or whatever. It was like the internet is making people crazy. And I believe that's true. Sometimes too much information, you know, it's it's almost like adrenaline rush because I've done that before. You type in one thing, you type in the other, and you're like, oh my gosh, you know. But nocebo effect. So people take into account that what you believe, what you give power to through your thoughts and your fears, you create that reality. You create that reality. You create it by all means. And I know because I've created, different situations just by, my fear or my whatever. I've created that situation. You have the power to create good or bad. You have the power to make a situation comfortable or uncomfortable. You have the power to bring love or not. It's up to you, You choose what you feed into. Just like that old Indian saying, you choose which wolf you feed. I forget it, but I'll find it. But you made of two wolves. You choose which one you feed. Good or evil. You choose which one you feed and which one you let starve to death and die. So I'm gonna feed the good. Anyway, I love y'all. I'm gonna put the link to that video because it says this video will hurt you because it affected me. It started out with it's saying that there's a tune that can give you a headache, and it was real sneaky because it gave this real high pitched tune. You're like, oh, I know, and they said you can't hear it, but I was like, yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it. I'm starting to get a headache. So it's easy to believe those things. I also want to include an experiment that was done like in my seventh grade. Mr. Bouillon, I won't forget him. I loved him. He had curly hair. As a person. But he did an experiment where everybody in the classroom, he told everybody to leave the classroom except for one person. No, he told one person to leave the classroom, everybody else said it. When that person left, he told everyone else, he drew two lines on the board and told everyone to say that the line that was obviously shortest was the longest. So he started from the beginning of the class, brought the person back in the room, and asked which line was longer to each of the persons. By the time you got to the last person would say that even though everybody knew it was a lie, that the short line was the longest, just because everybody else said it in front of him. It was like the emperor's new clothes syndrome. So people, beware of your thoughts. Be aware of your truth. Don't just always go along just because everybody else say it. Know your truth. And like I said, if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And doesn't always mean you have to be vocal. I believe in the different chakras. You have to have a balance. You know. And I don't subscribe to any one religion. I take good wherever I can find it. Because religion is just a practice and it's an institution, whereas being good is just that, being good. Amen. But what was I gonna say? I mean, think for yourself. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And if you're not part of the solution, you are part of the problem. You just need to know for yourself what the solution is. And in order to really live, you have to have something that you're worth dying for. And hey, it might be fun, fun, you know what I'm saying, to be able to actually fight for something. I mean, anybody can lay around and be pushed around all day. You know, I do it very well. I've done it through various jobs. And I've went to a point where I tried to stand up for myself and I got convicted. You know, because simply I decided I wasn't gonna put up with that anymore and I walked out. And I didn't just walk out, but I let them know that if I didn't get a response by the state, I was leaving. Didn't get the response, and I nicely resigned. Did what they told me to do, and I left. And it's a matter of power and principalities. They were upset because they didn't have that power, and maybe there were some other things going on that I personally did not know about. But it's not gonna be easy. Any person that fights a good fight, it's not a glorious thing. People are not gonna applaud you. You're not gonna be beautiful and gorgeous and well known and well liked. You're probably gonna be called crazy and stupid and dumb and talked about. I've been called all those things. you know. So anyways, God bless. Think for yourself. Love yourself. Uh, don't always go with the status quo. Sometimes just for the hell of it, I'll do the opposite of what everybody's doing just for the hell of it. Just so that I know I'm not just part number XYZ walking through life pushed along the assembly line. But I'm not saying just cause a ruckus or anything like that, but just be aware. Love yourself. You're human and uniquely and divinely so. Anyways, love you. Have a good day.